So you're applying for Social Security disability here in Virginia. And let's be honest, the waiting can be just beyond frustrating. It really feels like you're stuck in the worst kind of traffic, right? But what if I told you that you actually have way more control over the speed of your case than you probably think?
And that's really the big idea we're talking about today. You can't change the agency's backlogs. That's the highway. But what you can do is build a case that's perfectly designed to cruise right through that express lane. It's all about taking charge of the parts you can actually control. The biggest myth out there is that you're totally powerless, that all you can do is just sit back and wait. And that is just not true. The reality is taking proactive, smart steps can genuinely shave weeks, maybe even months off your decision time. It's not about some magic shortcut. It's about building a better, smarter file from day one.
So how do you actually do that? Well, it's not always about having the most severe condition. It's really about presenting the evidence of your condition in the clearest, most organized way possible for the person who has to review your file.
And here it is, the simple truth. Clarity equals speed. Every single time a reviewer has to stop what they're doing to hunt for a missing record or try to figure out why two dates don't match up, your case hits the brakes. A clear, well-organized, decision-ready file that removes all that friction and lets them do their job and get you a decision faster.
Okay, let's dive right into the first and, honestly, the most reliable strategy out there, giving the Social Security Administration, or SSA, a file that's ready for a decision the moment they open it.
Look, a complete file is so much more than a list of your doctors. It has to tell a full story. Your treatment map, for instance, needs every single provider with their exact contact info and dates. Your work history can't just be job titles. It has to detail the real physical and mental demands. And that last one, the consistency check, is absolutely vital. Make sure that your onset date and symptoms are the exact same across every single form you fill out.
Now, here is your secret weapon. I'm talking about a simple one-page cover sheet called an evidence index. Just think of it like a table of contents for your entire medical file. It tells the reviewer exactly where to find the most important proof, turning what looks like a mountain of paper into a simple, scannable roadmap. It's a game changer.
And remember, the SSA decides cases based on the evidence right there in front of them. Persuasive evidence isn't just a diagnosis on a piece of paper. It's recent, objective proof. It's an MRI, it's lab results, it's your own doctor explaining your real-world work limits. It's evidence that shows you've been consistently getting treatment for a long time.
Okay, so beyond just organizing your file really well, some cases can actually be officially accelerated. The trick is you have to know how to raise the right flag, and this is key, have the solid evidence to back it up.
One of the best-known programs is called Compassionate Allowances, or CAL for short. The SSA has a specific list of very severe conditions, things like certain aggressive cancers or neurological disorders that automatically qualify. If your diagnosis is on that list, you need to state it clearly right up front and then point the reviewer to the exact page in your records that confirms it. Don't make them search for it.
And besides CAL, there's also an internal system they use called Quick Disability Determination, or QDD, that flags cases that are highly likely to be approved anyway. And of course, there are TERI procedures for terminal illness cases. But you have to remember, these labels are just arrows. They only work if they point directly to solid, super easy to find proof in your file.
So, building that great file is an amazing start, but it's not where the work ends. Once you've submitted your application, you have to maintain your forward momentum. This part is absolutely critical. Even small delays here can add up to weeks and weeks of waiting down the line.
I want you to think of it this way. Unreturned phone calls and slow paperwork are like silent delay engines. Every single time the SSA has to wait on you for a form or a piece of information, your file gets put on a shelf and it loses its place in the line.
So what's the magic number for keeping that momentum going? It's this one, 48.
Yep. Make it your personal mission to respond to every single request, whether it's a form they mail you or a phone call you need to return within 48 hours. This one habit, this single habit, prevents your file from falling to the bottom of the pile, and it can save you an incredible amount of time.
So what does this all look like in practice? Let's put it side by side. A slow file? It's got vague info, missing dates, inconsistent facts. It's a huge stack of records dumped on the reviewer with no guide. But a fast file? It has complete info, one consistent onset date, that amazing evidence index right on top, and all the key evidence is submitted from the very beginning.
the difference in the time it takes to process them is just massive.
Whew, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's pull all of this together into a really powerful, simple checklist you can use as your action plan. A plan to build a case that is designed for speed.
This really all comes down to two big ideas: preparation and action. Prepare your file with that one-page evidence index and a strong opinion from your own doctor about your work limits. And then, take action by responding to everything within 48 hours and checking on your file status every week. These are the habits that truly make the biggest difference.
So, in the end, it really all boils down to this one question. Are you going to be a passive applicant who just sits and waits? Or are you going to be your own case manager, the driving force who organizes, communicates, and actively keeps your file moving forward? The choice is yours.